I don't want to take out the memory cards and like upload that to my computer and then edit it from the computer, because like I don't get a lot of time to sit here at this computer, so I feel like it'd be easier to keep everything on my phone. But we're gonna have to start. We're gonna have to start my first video because I have so many ideas. I have so many videos just sitting here in my brain and in my notes on my phone, and they're just not coming out. They're not coming out. I don't know why. I had this thing that I wanted to do with my cousin. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. Maybe it's like the fear of just like getting started. Or maybe it's like a time block, a creative block, a writer's block. There's just like something preventing me. Maybe it's because I'm tired. Maybe it's because I'm tired all the time or overstimulated. I really don't know. But like, I want to start. I just can't. Maybe I'm scared. I don't know. I just don't feel ready. So, with that being said, let's just start. All right, video number 1. Here's my why. I should probably get the mics. Let's get the mics. All right, let's get the mics. Okay, is this thing recording? I don't even know. I just want to say, like, oh my gosh. I'm so nervous. Oh my god. Okay, can I clip this? What is wrong with me? Okay, is it on? I just want to say that there's like so much prep work to making these things. Okay. What is in my throat? I literally just drank a cup of tea. Maybe I should get a light. Should I get a light? I'm just saying, like, I have these things and I should probably use them. Okay. I need absolute privacy. I don't want anyone to come in here. It's 9:45 p.m. Like, if somebody's listening to me, I'm just gonna be like so irritated. The door doesn't work, so it's like cracked open. Everyone's sleeping. But okay, so here's the why. Why? What the hell? Why what? First of all, I guess I should say, because I haven't told anybody here on my channel, those that are close know, but I have officially started homeschool January 2026. We just got done doing 8 weeks of deschooling my son, my 6-year-old. He's a first grader, and March just started. So technically, we've completed like our first full like week of hitting the books consistently Monday through Friday. Like we just did our first week of homeschool. In the beginning, like in January when I decided to like pull him out, we did do like we dabbled into some book work here and there, trying to like we're really just trying to find our rhythm and flow. Seeing what worked for us, signing up for like YMCA classes, and really we were just using most of that time like trying to adjust to life at home with everybody, like working around the baby's nap time schedule, figuring out our routine, what we're going to do during the day, what the day is going to look like. Like it takes a lot of prep and planning, and we're still not like 100%, but we've had a good amount of time to kind of get the gist of things. So I want to make a video and explain or just list out the reasons, like here are my whys for why I wanted to do homeschool, because of course that's always like the first question that people ask, like what made you want to do homeschool? So here it is. That was a really long intro, I feel like. Okay, so why did I start homeschool? Well, first of all, homeschool has always been on my mind ever since I was not a mom. It was just something that I've always like been curious about, I was always curious about like natural birth and water birth and just doing things, I guess, the old school traditional way, just doing things different. I've always been like that kind of person. That's just my personality. I'm a type 8. So homeschool has always been on my mind. It always sounded fun. um, it sounded fun and challenging and exciting and different to me. So that's the first thing. It just generally sounds interesting. Or another reason why I started is because I've I don't know if I'm like a conspiracy theorist. Theorist, is that a word? But I have just started to not like the idea of traditional school. Oh, I've done like a lot of research about like homeschool and school. I watched like the 13th documentary. I think that's what it's called. Is it called the 13th? Something about the 13th Amendment. Um, a a while ago, years ago, and just, oh yeah, about like the prison to school pipeline or the school to prison pipeline, and just the, I don't know what the word is, not the foundation, or I just don't like the idea of traditional school. I've always been into like a Montessori style, or just more of like a natural, kids learn at their own pace, just a different approach. I've just always been interested in a different approach instead of traditional learning. And so, with the school to prison pipeline, something that really stuck out to me was, the timed recesses, the timed lunches. You have to like get permission to go to the bathroom. You need like a hall pass, and it's just very strict, and but it just doesn't gel well with how I want like my younger kids to, for what? Like that's not how life is. So I just don't really like agree with that. I just feel that like young kids and kids in general should be like outside more. They should experience things like at their own pace and not be forced into to certain things and ideas. Yeah, like sure you should know how to like walk in a straight line, but should you really actually? Like we teach our kids to do that like in school, but where are where are you gonna need to do that when you're like older or like growing up? Like what place do you need to walk in a like in the straight line or like follow the leader? You just go with the direction of traffic wherever people are walking. Just things like that. Also, a big reason why like I really wanted to start homeschool was I was just seeing the struggle of how difficult and stressful the mornings were for us, especially like I had to wake up my son every morning. Like he was never ready, like he was never like, it was just like such a struggle. It was like pulling teeth just to try to get him dressed at a certain time, get him up and ready. I'm already like not a morning person at all. Like my natural body will probably, like without kids, I would probably wake up like around like 10 o'clock, maybe 9:30. I'm not a morning person at all. And with homeschool and like traditional school, I don't really want to like, I don't want to wake up earlier than I have to, and I don't want to wake up my kids if they don't have to be up. Like I'd rather them just naturally wake up. And I know like a lot of other homeschool parents, that's like one of their main reasons, or like a top reason. It's like, yeah, I'm not a morning person and I don't want to wake up early and force my kids and rush them out the door to get ready when they don't really have to. Like we can actually enjoy like a full breakfast I am so sorry. I don't know what is in my throat. But yeah, like we can actually enjoy like a full breakfast because that is one of my it I think it is like my favorite meals of the day, um is to like have like a full breakfast, start the day, get a nice tea. Like I love an egg and potato. I'm an egg, potato, and bacon or some type of meat kind of girl. I'm a yogurt girl. I just love a great breakfast. And so do my kids. And we can't do that if we're going to regular school that starts at whatever time, 8, 7:50, 8:50. Like that's just not happening because I'm not waking up multiple hours ahead of time to make breakfast, and he'll just eat at school. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather like have breakfast and be on our own time flow. So yeah, I'm not a morning person, and that's one reason. Another reason is a bit of like the socializing aspect. I noticed that they're like you can't control who your kids hang out with. So like in our specific area of where we live and school, like there's I don't know what the word is, like unwanted behaviors. I just noticed that my son was hanging out with like a lot of kids that had behavioral issues. He was always tending to like flock to the bad kids or whatever you want to call it. And there are things that like kids in his school are exposed to that I don't want him exposed to. Um, People are cussing, doing like inappropriate touching, and just all these things that kids do. Um, and we didn't really want like our son exposed to some of those, but I won't say like that's like one of the main like drivers. Like it's part of it, but it's not like the whole reason. I really just like wanted like control over like my son's education and my children's education, because like I went through public school, and knowing what I know now and seeing like what I've actually been taught and used from school, I feel like I could teach them more, a lot more than what I learned in school. And I've always been like a go at your own pace. Like if it's not working for you, like find something that's gonna work for you. I've always been one to like, okay, like I'm bored with this, I'm done with this, like what's next type of person. And I think that's gonna rub off on my kids, at least my son. I want them to like be interested in whatever they're learning. I'm personally excited to like get into like the workbooks and textbooks, do like the elementary school level math, and I'm excited for it all. The hard part is just getting him into it, but everybody like knows like some days you have good days and some days you have bad days. And yeah, another reason is like we only have this one life to live, and I would like to spend more time with my child. Like, he's my oldest child. He's been in preschool since he was 4, so he's already been into traditional school for 2 years. And I just feel like I don't think that I'm gonna regret like spending this time with him. If anything, it'll make our bond stronger as a family. So that's really like one of the main reasons for me, besides the ones that I already mentioned. Like, I want to spend time with my child and really like get to know him and his personality. And I feel like we can do a much better job at that if he's at home with the rest of his siblings and us, and we can interact with each other, than if he's gone from 9 to 3:30, and then we only see him from 3:30 to 9. So really only like 6 hours during the week, 5 days a week, so that's 24 hours, because like in the morning, like it's just like, okay, like wake up, go to school, get out, and then I'll see ya. It just didn't really sit well with me, and I feel like he's so young. Like we have time to send him to school. Like if it's not working out, then it's not working out, and we can change that. But right now, I'm willing to take that risk and really just try our hand at it. Just want to spend this time right now with my children. I just want to really be involved as much as I can while they're young, and really just create like a better, stronger bond with all of my kids. And I feel like I kind of missed out on that. Yeah, I feel like I did miss out on like 2 years of that with my son, because he is 6.5 now. And he's been in school since he's 4, so 4 to 6. But I've been with my daughter, my middle child, uh, this whole time. So I feel like we kind of need to get get even, or just spend a little more time together, and then they need to interact with each other, and get used to each other. So yeah, I think those are all my reasons. Like that's my why. I'm doing this so that I can raise independent, strong thinkers. I want to raise kids that, question the system and have the tools that they need to like figure out their whys for moving on in life, or just figuring out their interests. I want them to be independent thinkers and to figure out how to do things differently. Like you don't always need to follow the rules just because somebody says so, or that you're still going to be like respectable young adults, but want their minds to be expanded, and really have a strong like appreciation for arts and culture, like figure out how to do taxes, and I want to like focus on learning like finance, a lot of things that I feel like should be taught in the schools that you really can't learn in the schools. um yeah, I think those are all my reasons. All right, well, yeah, there you have it. I hope that answered I hope that answered any of your guys' questions, or some of the people that are watching this, if they were wondering like why. I hope I gave you a little bit of insight. I know it's like kind of all over the place. I know I'm here, but I don't really feel like typing out like a whole essay or script and like listing down the reasons. So I just kind of just blah. These are the reasons. I want to be with my children right now and influence them. I mean, obviously, I do that already, but yeah, I want to be with my kids. I don't like the school schedule. I don't like the idea of all like the formalities of school. Like school is okay, but if you really like look into the history of how like school started, then you'll kind of see like what I'm talking about, and you'll realize like school wasn't made to like educate your children and make them be the best that they can be. School was made to like tame them and get them ready for work so they can become productive workers and like follow a protocol. That's like the that's another like driving force for me. I don't want my kids to be like ants that are following the line. I want you guys to like learn the things and then apply that to the real world. I don't need you guys to like learn how to become like good workers. Those that know what I'm talking about know what I'm saying. Just go look at like who started the schools. I forget their names. But yeah, like the schedule of the school doesn't work for us. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then he was like always labeled as, well, with some of his teachers, like he was always labeled as like he's very chatty. He I don't want to say like he was labeled as a bad kid, but he just needs like a lot of attention. He gets bored very easily. Like if his mind is not being challenged, he's just all over the place and he's just on to the next thing. But I think that's how like a lot of boys are at that 6 to 8 range. And I've seen that it's recommended. Like kids need to be like outside, they need to be up, they need to be moving, not sitting down at a desk and, you know, being sedentary. Like they need to be up and have that freedom to move. So I feel like with homeschool, we can get more of that, especially when the weather gets nicer during the summer and spring. Like I plan to have these kids like outside doing activities, going places. I'm most excited like for the field trips. Like we're gonna go places. I'm not the kind of like parent that just wants to stay at home at all. So like I'm not really worried about the social aspect. A lot of people have been asking me like, "Oh, how do you think that's going to affect him like socially? Like he's not going to see anybody. They're not going to talk to other kids." Like, no, this kid is going to talk. He is very social. I have friends with kids. We're going to go places with kids. He still goes to school for speech and like behavioral therapy, I guess if that's what you want to call it. So he's still interacting with kids. I'm not really like the whole socialization and homeschool thing is a myth that people need to look further into. And if you haven't, well, I've realized that like even when you're in public school, there's still a lot of kids that are socially awkward and that are very antisocial. So to say that like homeschool and traditional school, like they're not going to be socialized, well, that's not a good claim because I came from public school and I'm antisocial most of the time or sometimes. So I don't, that's not a good claim in my perspective. And you just got to do your research. And like I said, I definitely have. I didn't just like wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to do homeschool. Like, no, I knew that this was going to be a long process. And I've prepared, I've been, planning, reviewing a lot of videos on YouTube. I've binged homeschooling videos for like a month before I like finally made the decision. Like I've always watched like a few channels on YouTube about like homeschooling, kind of like because I've always had it in my mind, even like when he was first born. Like I've put like certain idea or like certain videos and like Pinterest ideas in my head for the future. And when I like finally made the decision, like yeah, I think I'm gonna do this like January 2026. Then I just like binge uh from like late November to the beginning of January, just watching video after video. Like that's all I was consuming. It's like homeschool podcasts, homeschool videos, like nonstop, just like in my ear pods the whole time. And yeah, I think that was a good gathering of my whys, a few of my reasons. And yeah, if you guys are interested about more homeschool stuff, maybe I can talk some more about that. But yeah, I did want to make this. This is one of my videos that was on my to-do list about my why. And I'm done. Until next time, bye ding dongs.